Ever wondered what happens if you just don't show up for your Strata Tribunal hearing in Malaysia? You might think it's a clever way to avoid a headache, but let me tell you, the law has a very powerful answer for that. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on Regulation 25 and see exactly why leaving that empty chair is such a big deal. So, let's just get right into it, shall we? What are the real-world consequences of being a no-show? It doesn't matter if you're the one making the claim or the one responding to it. For any homeowner or property manager, this is an absolutely critical question. And the answer is hiding in plain sight, inside one very specific regulation.
And that rule is Regulation 25. You can think of it as the tribunal's official playbook for when a party goes missing in action. Right from the get-go, Subregulation 1 gives the tribunal a surprising amount of power. It's not just one fixed outcome. They actually have a few different paths they can take.
And here they are, the three big options. First, they can just carry on with the hearing, with whoever actually bothered to show up. Second, they could decide to hit pause and reschedule for another day. Or third, and this is the one you really need to pay attention to, they can make a final decision, an order or an award, right then and there. Case closed. Okay. Let's zoom in a bit. What happens when the tribunal decides to move forward, but there's only one person in the room? Well, the rules are a little different depending on who's missing. Is it the person who started the whole process or the one defending against it? This is where we get into the nitty-gritty. If the claimant, the person bringing the case, is absent, the award is made using a specific document called Form 9. If the respondent is the no-show, it's Form 10. Now, don't let the boring names fool you. These forms aren't just paperwork. They represent legally binding decisions made in your absence. The key point here is that the system is built to move forward, with or without you. But there's a really important safeguard built right into the system. Subregulation 3 makes it crystal clear that the tribunal can't just make a decision in a vacuum. It must listen to the party that actually showed up. Your presence is everything. It's your one shot to tell your side of the story, even if your opponent decided to skip it. Okay, so we've seen what happens when one person is missing. But what about the most extreme scenario? What if the claimant and the respondent both decide not to show up? Does the case just sit in legal limbo forever? Well, the regulation has a very clear and very final answer to that. And the answer is incredibly simple. If the tribunal room is completely empty, they have the power to just strike the claim out. Poof, it's over. Dismissed. All that time, all that effort, all that paperwork, just gone because nobody was there to see it through to the end. So, after breaking all that down, what's the bottom line? What are the absolute must-know lessons from Regulation 25 that every property owner, JMB, or MC member needs to have burned into their brain? Let's quickly recap the main points. First, showing up isn't optional. It's mandatory if you want your voice to be heard. Second, not being there can lead to a final, legally binding decision being made against you. Third, the tribunal is fully empowered to make that decision without you. And finally, and this is so important, even if you hear a rumor that the other side is bailing, your attendance is still absolutely crucial. It's your only chance. And that really brings us to one final critical thought. Understanding these rules shows you just how incredibly high the stakes are. So, when you know that a final, binding decision can be made whether you're in the room or not, what is the single most important thing you can do to prepare? The answer is as simple as it is powerful. Just make sure you're there.